Well, what they're going to tell them is to try and pool all of their debts and to refloat all of their debts into a massive European-wide pool of debts that they're going to try to get others around the world to finance. Think of it in terms of this recent offering of Groupon, which was a known and notorious Ponzi scheme. They took it public for $18 billion. Now it's crashed through the IPO price, trading for many billions of dollars less. But for a brief shining moment, it looked good. So this is what they're trying to do in the Eurozone. They're trying to refloat trillions of debt and say it's a brand new day, and it'll look great for about maybe 20 minutes, but then we'll be back to exactly where we started, which is massive debt deleveraging, sovereignty being lost amongst all these Eurozone countries, and predatory IMF bankers on the loose, rogue bankers looking to destabilize countries for a quick buck. Yes, it's very interesting, isn't it? Germany is, on principle, against buying up ECB bonds or monetizing ECB bonds, but the Bundesbank was buying up the Bund bond today. So it's okay for Germany, but it's not okay for the Eurozone. And this is just opening up all the antagonisms between all these European countries. The Euro was supposed to restore peace and harmony in the Eurozone, but they're breaking down along country by country divisiveness once again, and this can't end good because these countries, let's not forget, have spent hundreds of years at each other's throats. Now we're back at it. Technocrats, you have been drinking the Kool-Aid. These are just banksters. Look, you have to understand, I look at what's happening on Twitter, for example. You've got a Twitter war going on between Nouriel Roubini, a technocrat-type character, and Jim Rickards, who just came out with a book called Currency Wars. Jim Rickards gets it. He understands we're in an era of zero reserve banking and that this is a systemic problem. Nouriel Roubini, of course, doesn't get it. He's an academic who thinks all you need is a new model and a new theory. If you follow guys like Roubini, you're going to go straight down into massive bankruptcy across the entire globe. You have to understand this is a systemic problem that requires a total re-architecting of the system and a total execution in one way or another of these banksters that are just predatory leeches, a cancer on the system. They add no value. They simply make things worse so that they can profit from the chaos. The only thing that keeps France in a AAA rating is the quality of the cheese. And I'm afraid once the Camembert and the Brie lose their integrity, France will be sliding down the slippery slope of ratings downgrades along with everyone else. No, seriously though, the rating in France is overrated. There are no AAA credits anymore. There's a zero reserve banking system around the world. Nobody's got the cash to service their debts except for the IMF, who's borrowing from other like-minded global institutions that are imposing the austerity measures. This is all backed up by austerity measures, which is heading back toward a situation of the 1% even getting more egregiously wealthy at the expense of everybody else. We're going back to medieval days of lords and serfs. It all depends on what Germany wants to do. Germany loves the single currency because it's cheap, thanks to the problems in the peripheral countries. It helps their exports. If there's a breakup, They get to bust out of the Eurozone with the reunified country with a huge export superpower, and so they win in either way. This is why more and more countries are beginning to really hate Germany again, because they see that at the nexus of all these problems, you have a conniving central bank of Germany and politicians in Germany who are playing the system for themselves, and they're sacrificing the Eurozone once again. Historically, we would expect that.